Bone Squad, in honor of Black History Month, I will be naming 20 badass Black women that you need to know about. Firstly, I would like to mention the badass Black women in my own life. My mother-in-law, who's currently battling breast cancer, my best friend, who kicked breast cancer's ass, and is now a badass mom of 6, also my daughters, who make me proud every day by being strong and hilarious. Number 1, Ruthella Moore. She was the first African-American woman in the U.S. to earn a PhD in the natural sciences. She was also the first woman to head any department at Howard University, and also went on to make significant contributions in the study of blood types, immunology, tooth decay, and the rejection of specific pathogens to different classes of antibiotics. Number 2, Angela Bassett, iconic and amazing actress who I was first introduced to in the wonderful movie Waiting to Exhale. That scene where she sets the car on fire is everything. Number 3, Maxine Waters. Congresswoman Maxine Waters is a strong and outspoken member of the House of Representatives. She recently made history as the first woman and first African-American chair of the House Financial Services Committee. Number 4, Kamala Harris, our first ever female vice president, as well as the first African-American and South Asian American to hold this position. Plus, the relationship she and her husband have is so freaking adorable. Number 5, Maya Angelou, iconic poetress. Her life story is not for the faint of heart. She went from an abused child that went mute for a 5-year period to one of the most well-known speakers. I remember her speaking when Bill Clinton was inaugurated. She was also awarded 50 honorary degrees over her lifetime. Number 6, Lizzo, body positive goddess. I remember first hearing her song Good as Hell and thinking that she was going to take over the music industry. Number 7, Ruby Bridges. At 6 years old, she bravely became the first African-American student to integrate an elementary school in the South. My daughters, being biracial in the South, look up to Ruby Bridges and the major step forward she made for civil rights. Number 8, Big Mama Thornton. This woman inspired Elvis Presley. He went on to record a cover of her song Hound Dog. Janis Joplin also covered her song Ball and Chain. Best known for her robust and powerful voice, as well as her size. Whenever I'm feeling down, I listen to her song, They Call Me Big Mama, and I feel better. Number 9, Ella Fitzgerald, amazing singer and Marilyn Monroe's favorite person. Ella Fitzgerald was the most popular female jazz singer for more than half a century. Number 10, Stacy Abrams. Without Stacy Abrams, the results of the runoff election in Georgia would have been very different. She has spearheaded the voting rights movement in Georgia and across the country. After her own run at governor, which was rife with her opponent using voter suppression to ensure he would win, she may have lost that run at office, but she has since went on to do so much good. Number 11, Katherine Johnson. This brilliant mathematician is from my current state, West Virginia. Her calculations of orbital mechanics were crucial to the first crewed space flights, as well as subsequent others. She received a Presidential Medal of Freedom in 2016 and was portrayed by Taraji P. Henson in the movie Hidden Figures. Number 12, Madam C.J. Walker. The first female self-made millionaire, she founded a business producing hair and cosmetic items specifically for women of color. She also used her wealth to fund philanthropy and activism projects. Number 13, Bessie Coleman, the first African-American and Native American woman to hold a pilot's license. She had to move abroad to France to attain her pilot's license because, sadly, at the time, American flight schools wouldn't allow women or people of color to earn such a license. She earned the nickname Queen Bess by doing aerial tricks and as a way to earn a living. Number 14, Sister Rosetta Tharpe. This woman influenced the likes of Little Richard, Johnny Cash, Elvis Presley, and Jerry Lee Lewis, as well as Eric Clapton and Keith Richards. She is known as the godmother of rock and roll thanks to her use of heavy distortion and an electric guitar. Her song Didn't It Rain is one of my personal faves. Number 15, Marsha P. Johnson. Marsha Pay It No Mind Johnson was a Black trans woman and force behind the Stonewall riots, as well as other activism that sparked the new phase of the LGBTQ+ movement in 1969. Number 16, Shirley Chisholm. Elected in 1968, she became the first African-American congresswoman. She was the founding member of both the Congressional Black Caucus and the National Women's Political Caucus. Number 17, Jane Bolin. Inspired by her father, Gaius C. Bolin, who was the first Black graduate of Williams College and had his own legal practice. She was inspired to attend law school and went on to be the first Black female judge in the country. Number 18, Henrietta Lacks. In 1951, a young mother of 5 visited Johns Hopkins Hospital complaining of vaginal bleeding. As medical records show, Miss Lacks began undergoing radium treatment for cervical cancer. This was the best medical treatment available at the time for this terrible disease. A sample of her cancer cells retrieved during a biopsy were sent to Dr. George Gay's nearby tissue lab. What he would soon discover was that Miss Lacks' cells were unlike any of the cells he had ever seen. Where others would die, Miss Lacks' cells doubled every 20 to 24 hours. Today, these incredible cells, nicknamed HeLa cells, from the first 2 letters of her first and last names, are used to study the effects of toxins, drugs, hormones, and viruses on the growth of cancer cells without experimenting on humans. They have been used to test the effects of radiation and poison, to study the human genome, to learn more about how viruses work, and played a crucial role in the development of the polio vaccine. Although Miss Lacks ultimately passed away on October 4, 1951, at the age of 31, her cells continue to impact the world today. Number 19, Oprah Winfrey. As a child of the late 80s, early 90s, I would be lying if I didn't mention the impact Oprah Winfrey had on the world. From her talk show to her movies to her book club, she is a living legend. Number 20, Dr. Rebecca Lee Crumpler. Rebecca Lee Crumpler challenged the prejudice that prevented African Americans from pursuing careers in medicine to become the first African American woman in the United States to earn a medical degree. Although little has survived to tell the story of her life, she has secured her place on the historical record with her book of medical advice for women and children published in 1883. I know today's video was a little different than what I usually do, but I hope you enjoyed it nonetheless. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!